Hey my friends, it's your friend Kevin back again with the Woo Woo Wizards navigations for the week ahead. So let's get right to it. I have already shuffled the cards and I have already placed them just to get an overview of how the tarot, in this case it is guardian angel messages, a slightly different flavor to traditional tarot, in so much that the marvelous Radley Valentine channeled the guardian angels to give us a softer, more friendly approach to the messages, almost like a guardian angel message with the card, telling us what we can expect from the cards. But let's start with where we're going with this week ahead. This is a super new moon week where Mars and Pluto's are squaring up. And this energy has been building up since the last full moon. And it's caught up in a Mars-Pluto scrap for power. This is nothing to undermine or nothing to just slough off. It is pretty intense. So if you have been feeling like you're tiptoeing around a person, a situation, something that you really have been meaning to say and haven't, or you're in an awkward, tense situation, this week is the week to be super extra cautious, and a week to watch how you're feeling and what your behavior is like. Because Mars is the angry planet and Pluto is the furious one. And when these two square off with this new moon, which is coming up in, let me have a look to see where the new moon is coming up in. I think it's, I don't know quite, I can't remember where the new moon is showing up, which house it's showing. But anyway, we'll get to that later. This might not appear to be the most jovial of energies this week, which is why it's ideal to knuckle down, get into your soul work, your spiritual practices, your meditation, your introspective work, and ask yourself or journal, what lessons, what energy do I need to learn? And what areas in my life do I need a stronger hold or more confidence or more acumen? Even if that means picking up a textbook and learning something new and different this week would be the week to do it. There's definitely part of your astrological chart that will spell out exactly how to work with this moon and what area of your life is being triggered. For example, if you're in Aries, then the second house is being triggered, and the second house talks about cash, property, possessions. They will need a little emphasis. If you are a Taurus, now I'm not talking about your sun sign, I'm talking about your rising sign, your star sign. That's where the moon affects the most. So if your star sign or your rising sign, that's going to be in the first house because the sun has just moved into Taurus. So this affects the first house issues. And the first house is all about you having a fresh start in areas that need a makeover, trying anything new, different. That's your first house. In Gemini, because Gemini would be the next house that comes up with the sun, but it's actually the 12th. So this is affecting the 12th house, and the 12th house is about spiritual matters. All things that are in the shadow work, out of sight, meditation, introspection, all of those things. Cancer would be in the 11th house. And the 11th house talks about friendships, meeting new people, and what we're wishing for, hopes, dreams, and wishes, if you will. Leo goes to the 10th house, and the 10th house is about professional, student life, ambitions, work, studies, researching a new job market, that kind of thing. And as we go on, Virgo would be in the 9th, Libra would be in the 8th, Scorpio would be in the 7th, Sagittarius would be in the 6th, so on and so forth. That makes sense. Hoping it makes sense. So you follow where your astrological sign is and then the corresponding house. Beginning with, if we begin with Gemini in the 12th, we work backwards till you get to your sign. I'm hoping that makes sense. If it doesn't, just send me a note, put it in the comments. Somebody will pick up an answer. So let's get right to it. On Sunday the 20th, we got a number 6 angel numerology number. That's about re-looking at things, making a new plan. However, the moon's in Aquarius and Uranus is about receiving and planning a surprise. It's a good day to have deep talks. Well, here are guardian angel messages. Tarot says the 2 of water. And here we see our people talking about partnership, commitment, reconciliation. I will add on to that. It may be a day, because we're on Easter Sunday, where you spend time with family and important people and letting them know how much you truly appreciate them, how much you appreciate how they care for you and how you care for them, which is, in a way, how come these surprises come up. You might be surprised by somebody who declares their undying love for you, or you may be compelled to go tell somebody, listen, we've been dating a little while and I want to make it more official. This can bring chaotic energy when it comes to a surprise, but I don't think this is a bad thing. We're also in the last quarter moon in Aquarius, so use this energy for the next 24 hours. On Monday, this is a challenging one. We've got the 5 of air, or the 5 of swords, and that would typically talk about deceit, deception, not looking at the bigger picture, not paying attention, people saying things. It's not necessarily the greatest card in the tarot deck. And our energy is a number 7. And the number 7 is talking about focus. Focus, focus, focus. Use the 7 energy. You can pull out the 7 of cups if you want to change your mindset on it. It also works with the sun and the chariot. And Archangel Metatron, Archangel Michael. So if your mental emotional state is being challenged, which is what this card says, it could be because we're in the last quarter moon of Aquarius and we're in the waning cycle. So it's really a day to use the energy in a good way to relieve any sour apple feelings. Moving on to Tuesday, we have a number 8 day. Success. This one uses the King of Pentacles, or the King of Earth, and Archangel Ariel, Jophiel, plus your spiritual team to get over the finish line of this waning moon cycle. Move into some successful thinking. There are some intense energies building up today, so if you feel tension brewing, because you and someone else, with you and someone else, between you and someone else, I should say, let it go. Take a step back and be non-confrontational as possible. The Hermit is introspective. It's also mentorship. It is also about being a little bit like a, what do they call it, mediator. If you've got to get in there, become the judgment, the scales, weigh up your pros and your cons. That's what Tuesday's energy is about. When we move into Wednesday, we got a number 9. And a number 9 is a declaration day. Number 9 works with the tarot card of the Empress and the Hermit card. Well, you just had the Hermit, so it may be good to pull that energy into Wednesday. It's the best. Bring in your best energy helpers today, plus Archangel Ariel, Jophiel. Perhaps use a sprinkle of that Jupiter's energy for expansion, because the Moon in Pisces and the Sun in Pluto's are at cross purposes. It appears that something that was planned isn't quite working out the way you expected, but the energy of a 9 card says don't give up. The situation is going to allow you to move forward, so stick with it, because we've got the Sun card and Archangel Uriel. They're talking about success, recognition, and enthusiasm. So remember, we've got that Pluto-Mars thing coming up. It's like an underlying, what do they call that? A riptide There's always going to be riptides that want to pull us in a certain direction. So remember, keep your head up and move forward. Keep moving forward. That's what Wednesday's energy is about. Moving into Thursday, we've got the King of Fire. And Thursday's number is a 10 or a 1. It works with the 9 of Cups and a more of Jupiter energy casting those wish spells. With the moon in Pisces, it's a good day to manifest some cash. Do your creative visualization under the mysteries of the Pisces energy, particularly when it comes to your finances, or a way to boost them. Focus on feeling or having more available cash to use, more assets to rely on. The King of Fire is all about that. It's a business person, a finance person, inspirational, charismatic, innovative. You might want to talk over your business plans, your plans for increased income, the plans to increase your customer base, your client base, your professional profile out into the world. Moving on into Friday, we move to a number 2 energy, angel energy, and this is about diplomacy. The 8 of Swords, or the 8 of Air, the Wise Counselor. These are cards that you can use to bring the energy in. That's going to assist you today, as well as Archangel Jophiel, Beauty of God, and Archangel Raguel. Archangel Raguel works with kind of like legal matters or disagreements or arguments. He evens out, brings justice, if you will, to the situation. Now, here we have the 7 of Swords, or the 7 of Air. That card typically talks about choices. And we can be stuck in this place where we have to make a decision. We have to make a choice. Well, here we see one child just sleeping on the bench because they got tired of waiting. And the other child just pondering over, I want all of it. Look at this. He's got all of the apples in his hands, grabbing hold of them. Don't know which one to choose, where they're going. Should I do this? Should I do that? This is about awareness, caution, consequences. Make a decision. That's coming up on Friday. What's also coming up on Friday is this Mars and Pluto getting ready to spar off under the Aries moon. So any disruptions in fight may well get nasty on Friday. Use the moon's alignment today to get yourself into a good headspace. Plus, boost up your manifestation, visualization. Use your affirmations to attract all the good in your life. Just because the cards and the planets look like they're going to have a kiki or a cuckoo or a doo-doo-da-da, this is giving you the heads up saying, woo, I am going to put this in reverse and go around the different way. We can always change the energy by what we intend. Everything is about intention. Oh, I thought that was thunder going then. On Saturday, we have a number 3 day, which is about reflection. And the 3 of Cups is here. Not in this card. We've got the Knight of Air. Now, the Knight of Air is someone who's really determined, motivated, ready to go forward. I got what I need. I got my ideas. I got my plans. I am ready to go ahead with things. This is a dark moon day, which is in Aries. It's going to require the art of diplomacy, and that's going to be your key ally, being diplomatic. Arguments could very well be brewing unless somebody decides to take a back step to the conflict and chooses to not engage. Healing is very possible under this dark moon energy. Now, if you want a little extra help because you feel like, oof, I can't avoid this kind of situation, get the Hermit or the Moon card. Ask for assistance from Archangels Ariel, Azrael, Gabriel, Raziel, Jophiel, and even Zadkiel. Let them be your angel board of directors. You can always send your heart and your mind up. The Knight of Air being determined, my intuition says that on Saturday, with this dark moon energy, because we're spiritual and we're open to all of the non-physical energies, we can get pulled and pushed and shoved. And many of my spiritual friends, soul friends, all of you are diplomatic. We see both sides of it. We see the spiritual way of doing things and we see the physical way of reality. And oftentimes there's a mismatch of energies. It's a bit like brewing up a thunderstorm or brewing up a tornado. You've got warmth energy and you have cool energy. And when the hot and the cool come together, there is this expansion and contraction going on atmospherically. And somehow or another, we have to stay focused, stay grounded, and move forward as best we know how. And sometimes that can mean being incredibly diplomatic. Go inward. Anytime that I've ever sort of come up on some toxic energy in my own life, first of all, I wonder where's the planets, and then I'm going to pull the pendulum or the cards or something, give me guidance. I've always got my inner being saying, listen, beam me up, Scotty, because I can't deal with this. That might be a little bit complacent, but it also says I am out of the fray. Remember, my friends, we are spiritual beings. We come from a place of love and kindness and understanding, and we chose to come into this physical embodiment, to have an adventure, to have an experience, to do all these things. But there's also a purpose. And if your purpose is to maintain mankind and give love and give joy and sort of even out the playing field a little bit, sometimes we are going to get faced with some really awkward situations. All of the divine masters that have gone before us, Kuan Yin, Jesus, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, all the leaders that defied what was going on and kept going, they became powerful not because they were noisy or that they were pushy or that they were bossy or demonstrative. No, because they stood in their power and they stood in their choice and they stood in their authenticity. It was everybody around them that had the reaction to it. So this is the kind of energy I'm talking about. Stay steady. This is. I don't want to cast I don't like casting awkward or negative energy on the week coming up. I'd love to say, listen, we're going to go to the fair and we're going to get on the carousel. We're going to have a lovely horse ride that goes nowhere. I don't want to. What I want to do is let people know that even when there is this adverse tension, when you're in the middle of a thunderstorm, you just kind of get in your little cocoon, in your bubble, burn your candles, your incense, pray, say to, and I'm always grateful. Thank you for keeping me safe. Thank you for keeping me secure. Thank you for moving me forward with that issue. I'm grateful, grateful, grateful. And with that said, I'm grateful to you for liking, subscribing, and sharing this. And your comments are golden. And until tomorrow morning, lots and lots and lots and lots of love. Bye for now.